Actually, this is the first session of the day because Mr. Razak actually wanted to leave soon after and return to Calicut, but Air India Express had other plans. They've canceled the flight. So I think he's not in as much of a hurry as he was before. Okay. First, VKC is such a large brand of footwear, okay? And it started out not from a large city, but it started out from Calicut, right? Could you just take us briefly through, so one is, I would, at a very personal level, I'm so curious to understand how a brand from out of a relatively smaller center has traveled so much, across South India, now even across. Could you just tell me the early years and just give me a sense of it?
So before answering to your question, first of all,
Please.
let me thank you for giving me this opportunity
thank you for coming.
Present here. And good morning, all of you. So I just would like to answer it in a different way. Like, if you go back to around 30, 40 years back, if any one of you have used Hawaii slippers that time, you could have felt two, three, unique problems with the product, basically. So that means after using maybe 1 or 2 months, the top layer, white layer, goes out and it started showing the bottom color.
Correct.
And normally when you walk, if somebody steps on your slipper, the strap comes out. So another third problem was like if somebody steps little harder, the button breaks. So I think you all can recall this 3 problems with the Hawaii chappal. We call it Hawaii slipper.
Correct.
So my father could find this market gap and need at that time of a product which doesn't have these 3 problems. So he started experimenting. Actually, he was running another business, and he has to close it down because of his involvement in some social activities. So, and some shortage of raw material. So that time he worked with the rubber board and some other technical people, and we developed a product solving all these 3 problems.
Okay.
So that means like 3 problems, like he introduced a product without a white layer. So the entire product has got a single color. So
nice.
you can use it till you see the ground. And the strap was designed in such a way that the rubber content was quite high, and it doesn't break. The buttons doesn't break. Even if the soles goes out, the strap are still intact. So that much quality it was there. And finally, that the soles were like we formulated it with a higher quantity of synthetic rubber, wherein the sole have a hard surface, and coming out was not that easy. With a small stepping and or small force, it was not. It doesn't come out. But once it comes out, it is very difficult to put it back. Normally, you take a pen or some kind of a stick and you put it inside. But this one was very difficult. But normally, it doesn't come out. So that time he identified that, and we launched it in the market. And that time again, there's 2 different strategy was adopted. Normally, any new product is being given to the best distributor at that in all the cities.
Right.
But here he opted for a smaller distributors, those who don't have any direct brands. Plus, the packaging was completely changed from the regular, there is a gray box actually for those time Hawaii chappal, or a transparent plastic bag. So these 2 things were changed, and it was packed in a colorful, colored carry bag, plus the distribution setup was some completely different. So this given like when you go to the shop, the product was immediately visible for the customers.
Correct.
So we continued the same thing in all our other products. Whenever there is a gap or there is a requirement, we ended there and we captured that opportunity. So starting from Hawaii chappal, and then we went to reprocessed PVC, which was not there at all in our Malabar region. Then we went to virgin PVC, microcellular PVC, air-injected PVC, air-injected EVA, then finally to the PU.
But This was all in Hawaii chappals.
No, that is the initially Hawaii chappals. Then,
Right.
but normally, I mean, the usage changed because people started using less of Hawaii slipper outside, and the culture getting changed for the college. You have the slipper, I mean, the normal slipper or shoes. So it got changed from time to time, and whenever there is a change, we adopted it faster than anybody else. So we could capture that and we could move faster.
Your father, was he familiar with these materials, etc., or is he self-taught?
He was completely like he had to finish. I mean, stop his studies with his lower primary education, and he is like he worked hard and he has done all sorts of work which is legally permitted, like from trolley pulling to headload work or
Wow.
any other work. He worked with the Naval Lignite Corporation. Finally, he got a job in Tamil Nadu State Electricity Board as a government employee.
Okay.
But by one of his supervisor, after seeing his work, he appointed him. But he didn't stop there. So he moved into outside of the system and he started, actually he had a hotel business in Tamil Nadu that time.
Okay.
So what happened is that hotel business was doing good, and he was also the foreman of the group. So what happened is at one point of time, one of his friend, there was a chance for him to get a promotion. So if he moves out, so what he did, he moved out, and this guy got promoted. So that time he completely engaged in the hotel business.
Okay.
And that time that hotel was like quite famous in that area because it's a remote area. And the product, we call it a bonda in this thing.
Okay.
It was sold at a very economical price.
Right.
And those employees who is working surround all used to come there and for taking this bonda because it is quite big and it is good for their lunch.
Okay, that's right. So, and by the way, so your father, apart from Malayalam, he also spoke Tamil.
Yeah, definitely.
Huh?
Because he traveled a lot that time because youngster, he was not happy with he was working in a company of his relative. He was denied the job because he asked, one of his colleague was he was stopped from the work and by not paying salary. So he wanted the owner to give him salary. So on behalf of him, he was talking. So for that reason, he is also thrown out of the work. So after that, he started searching different work, and finally,
ended up in doing this. So do you? I mean, in your conversations with him, what were the big challenges? So initially, you must have had your dad must have had a small manufacturing unit distributing in Calicut and around Calicut, right? And then how did the spread, when did the big spread take place?
Yeah, actually, see, initially the product, all the raw materials were basically available in Kerala because that is a rubber. But there is another, as I told you, there is a synthetic rubber. There's only one factory manufacturing it in India.
Okay.
It is in Bareilly.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
and there was a lot of foul plays happening around that because need to get the raw material, we need to give some additional money to somebody and get the goods. So these kind of things were there, but he is a person who is he try very hard. So what happens is he's go to around 300 kilometers in the evening, reach there in the night, take the raw material and come back in the car. So this was the way he started in the initial time. Then in this was in 84 and 86 we launched our own brand. And I joined
VKC.
VKC, yeah, VKC Hawaii we call it. And that time the production was around 600 pairs a day.
And how much do you do now?
Is around 6 lakh pairs a day we have the capacity.
6 lakh pairs.
Yes, and we are one of the largest in the world as such for PU footwear. There's no officially recognized this thing, but as per the raw material manufacturers, we are the largest in the world.
Okay.
Not in India also, largest in the world. So what happens is 92 I joined. So we expanded Hawaii to immediately, it was around 5,000 pairs that time maximum, or 3,000 pairs, and we took it to around 18,000. So then automatically we entered, and my brother also joined. So we could find different technologies, different opportunities. So we went on to that, and one by one, and we adopted almost everything. Because we used to travel extensively, so we know what is happening around the
So
other
when
places.
did you start distributing outside
So
Kerala?
that is again a interesting story. See, in those days, like 86 or those times, lot of Tamil people used to come to work in Kerala.
As a migrant labor?
Migrant laborers. So they used to come to Kerala, and while they going for month end or after 3 months, what they do is they used to carry around 6 pairs or what people used to do from the Middle East when coming to India. They used to bring the lightweight footwear. So here what they started taking this back to Tamil Nadu, and it got popular without any of our involvement. No dealership, but the product was very popular in Tamil Nadu and some parts of Karnataka. So when we started, 92 we expanded, the production of one unit we could easily sell out into the Tamil Nadu market. So initially it was completely of word of mouth.
That's fantastic.
And the use, because that product was really hard. It was like lasting for any construction worker or any like hard-working labor. It was the best product available in the market.
But one thing I'm curious about, I'm sure my facts are not entirely correct, but at least in along the coastal Kerala, it rains very heavily, right? It rains 100, 125 inches typically. But when you come to Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, it must be more like 25 inches, 30 inches, I'm guessing, right? So the fact that the product was originally designed for use in Kerala, which happens to have a heavy rains, did that make any difference? The fact that it came into a slightly warmer, drier place?
No, for Hawaii slippers, not at all. Actually, see, the requirement is like when you step on to, suppose it's a construction worker, is doing a RCC concrete. So he used to walk on the what you call on the iron bars,
correct,
which is like with the winding wire and all. So
Sure.
it used to have this. So he was safe with our product. It's kind of a safety issue for him.
right?
Because that time the concept of safety shoes was not there.
Correct.
And if you is a road worker or any construction, like masonry, so for them actually the ultimate they look out is only for the life of the product.
Right.
So it was good for all the climates, and because Hawaii chapel is inert to any kind of seasonal changes, because it is based out of rubber, so there's no
It makes
no
no
direct
difference.
connection with that.
Okay. So when you expanded in the early phase, you said that you didn't really need to advertise in Tamil Nadu and border area of Karnataka and Tamil Nadu, because migrant labor were actually popularizing it back home. So when did you take to advertising within Kerala and outside?
Yeah, actually, see, during 94, 95, 96, we ventured into the other products. Actually, those products were coming from Bombay, Bangalore, and Delhi.
They were coming from Bombay?
Because they were imported from those places. It was not manufactured basically in South, or in some units were there in Chennai and some in near around Bangalore.
Right.
So what happens is to distinguish the product from others, because those people, they just do the distribution network, there's no advertisement. So we started advertising in footwear regionally first. So we started off with the local, like regional players, regional celebrities. So you must have heard of, there's a celebrity called Cochin Hanif. He was a comedy actor in Malayalam. And similarly, like Lalu Alex or Jagdish, all these people were locally known.
So you started using celebrities when? Early on?
Yeah, 96, 97.
That's unusual, huh?
Yeah, very unusual, and normally that time less people used to go for celebrities that
Exactly, yeah. That's very unusual. So how did your dad, it must have been his thing in his head.
No, actually, by the time we also came
you
into
would also
the
come into
picture, like myself, brother, then some of our cousins. So we used to, I think exactly it should be somewhere in the range of 96 or that time. the introduction of these
So
celebrities.
these were using influencers before they were known as influencers. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. The local celebrities.
Local celebrities. And they're very, I think they're quite known in that area. So, I mean, and we copied some music which was quite popular that time. And it was, which was synonymous to our, like, kind of our brand name also.
Okay.
So that was easy for communicating.
So have you have you been a big believer in advertising from the early years, or has it? I mean, what percentage of your revenue would go into ad expenditure as a percentage of revenue would be how much?
So initially, actually, there was no kind of a fixed budget, but later on, I mean, there what happens is once you do a advertisement or you do a movie, it was like good for a long period of time, not like as it is happening now, because it's changing every now and then.
Yeah, sure.
So there was no fixed budget as it is, but
Okay.
as a policy in the marketing, we spend around 2 to 3% of our total revenue on marketing. It includes ATL and BTL.
Okay.
So we divide between that. And see, that time, see, advertisement, we know that it's only advertisement cannot, make a product, what you call successful. There is a requirement in the market.
Sure.
And there should be a quality product which the customer is satisfied.
Right.
So with both this, when it comes together, then it was okay to advertise. So we continued that, and from regional we were moved to South India. Then we went to the All India Celebrity. Finally, we ended up with Amitabh Bachchan. So again, Amitabh Bachchan, again, you know that product, we present it as a long-lasting, hard-working footwear. Because our product, any of our product, you see, then the quality we have guaranteeing. It's any product is a long-lasting one.
So that's a fundamental.
Fundamental, like it's a basic requirement of a product. Fundamental requirement of the product. Plus, then we have honest pricing.
Okay.
There's two things. So when we look for a new celebrity, and it was only Amitabh Bachchan in our mind, like who corresponds to these requirements.
Hardworking and long
lasting.
That's true. So tell me, but between the local celebrities in Kerala and Amitabh Bachchan, what did you do when you went full hog in Tamil Nadu and Karnataka and Andhra, Telangana?
Yeah, we had a South Indian stars, like we had Sneha, we had Meera Jasmine was also popular. Then we were one more Bollywood. Then we went to national.
But you have, so what began as I mean today not almost, but lots and lots of brands have used stars of some kind, okay, or at least influencers. But if you look back in the 90s, that was not true. So some people would use, but mostly, I mean, they were actually models. I mean, it's hard to remember, but they were actually people who acted in, in TV commercials. So why did you decide to stay with stars so early on when it was not actually that popular? It's a very unusual thing for a local brand to have consistently used stars over 30 years. I mean, that's very unusual, Yeah.
Actually, there's one more reason. I mean, see, we have a product which is very good.
Okay.
But only people who uses it know that the product is good. So we want to take the product to entire consumers through some known faces. So these people have all some good what you call recalling value for them in the entire industry or these things, or they all have a very good name. So when they introduce the product, definitely there is a value added to the product also, along with the model. I mean, instead of, because when you take model that face is not familiar to the consumer, but actor or celebrity, when he is there and people are familiar with their face, it was easy to communicate to the, because it's something like when I know you and when I don't know you, the communication
is totally different.
Totally different.
But do you use a lot of research when you decide on which celebrities, or is it intuitive?
Definitely not. Definitely. Because we have to do a lot of market studies, and we have to see whether, again, any bad mark on the celebrity also affect
Affects you.
our
Correct.
product. So we have to be very careful while selecting the brand ambassador.
So, what has been your use of media over the years? I mean, you must have begun with print, I suppose, in the 90s, right? And then how has the use of media changed?
So actually, see, media is everything is media.
Okay.
I mean, nowadays it's a social media.
Yeah.
So every social media, there's a advantage and disadvantage. It's a two-way. I mean, you also get the.
Excuse me.
So we started off with, as I correctly said, print media.
Right.
So to reach the remote consumers, we still even believe that
Print works.
Print is the best option.
Okay.
And you have different channel like news or entertainment. This for other segment of the people. And for youth, definitely it is now social media,
Okay.
which is kind of a two-way interaction.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like the other one, only
Sure.
you can tell. But
Oh,
here
sure.
you can get the feedback also.
Mm. So, how is your budget distributed now? I mean, is it do you still use TV a lot?
Yes. Actually, currently we are not so. I was talking to somebody today. We are not so active in social media as of now.
Okay.
We just do some kind of like product awareness advertisement alone. Not we are not very widely present in e-commerce. So
Okay.
our main marketing is happening through wholesale and retail distribution. So we are present in.
But why have you why are you not enthusiastic
That is
about
a big
e-commerce?
question actually.
Because is there a
Everybody is on
conflict?
the other side.
No, because there's a conflict with the traditional distributors.
Yes, there is
That's
a
problem.
major problem because we are present in almost 150,000 plus retail outlets.
Correct.
So an e-commerce order, if you convert that into a sale, we cannot match this requirement. Again, our products are not very
High value.
high value. So the courier charges, which is to be given for the e-commerce platform, or if you do directly, it doesn't match the requirement. So you have to add an additional price for the product.
Correct.
And again, we are now slowly coming to the e-commerce platform. But what we have designed is, if they place the order in our
It'll be delivered
app,
locally.
yeah, we will redirect the order to the nearby retail stores. So he can collect the order and deliver it to the consumer. So this is actually now under testing and it is going on. But the sad part is that retailers they are not making use of that opportunity because they are all conventional kind of business people who are there doing business for years. So
But they, in many cases, their children would also have taken up the
children, but there is a change, but still, you know that as long as there is a generation gap,
Yeah.
so there always used to be a fight among these generations. So normally what happens is new generation tend to go for another shop instead of sitting in the same shop. So this is what happening now.
Okay.
Very, very rarely people from the second generation, third
Will sit
generation
in the
is
same
coming
shop.
back to the business.
But so they stay in the footwear business, but they start a separate shop. Like
Separate shop with a different product range.
That? Oh.
Basically, they will go for exclusive outlet or higher
But
cost.
do you feel pressured now? I mean, do you feel like you need to do this quickly and move to e-commerce, or is it that the market is stable, or is it that other brands are taking away share that could have been yours?
No, we are not in a hurry, but we want to do because we know that the new generation is more
Inclined towards
comfortable
e-com.
with the
e-com.
kind of e-commerce business, not going to the shop or taking a product from there. They are mostly like for the price and the convenience of them.
Okay.
So definitely we are working on that. Soon we will be like hearing something. Actually, we already have a brand for that. Particularly for youth, we have a Dibongo,
Correct.
which
I
is
read
a
about
brand.
that. Huh.
And the Dibongo is the sporty fashion brand of India.
Okay.
So what the major brands like multinational brands give for the customer, we are going to give that a much lower price. I think he can have 3 or 4 pairs instead of 1 pair of those brands.
And one thing, I mean, it's a basic thing. What percentage of your sales are in the southern states?
I think almost 60% is from south.
And in the rest of India, which
Rest
are,
of India is around 40%.
Yeah, but,
Around 20-25% from east and rest from the north.
so what is the priority from a geography point of view now?
So now we are not considering it as a this thing because with Amitabh Bachchan as a brand ambassador, we have more scope in.
When did you bring him on?
Actually, immediately after the COVID, this thing it's going to be 2 years.
What was the impact of getting Amitabh?
Definitely, there's a in north or in western market, VKC was not that as known as what it was in south.
Okay.
But with his face on the packaging, there is a what you call understandable trust on the product. So that is we have I think last year we have almost grown double in west market, and in north it's almost around 45%.
Fantastic.
So it's a good impact on the this thing business.
Wow. So Amitabh Bachchan still works, huh?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Actually,
really-
Amitabh Bachchan has done 32 brands in that year. You can imagine. So every 10 days he is doing one brand. So you can imagine.
I must say, I have to admit that I always say that I'm such a sucker for Amitabh Bachchan that whatever he sells, I will tend to buy.
And again actually, Amitabh Bachchan is doing footwear for the first time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he has not done footwear so far, and somehow, and even we were not thinking that he will agree. But we send our company profile, we send our values, everything. So I think 1 week we got the reply. Yes.
Wow, that's.
It was like something which we had a
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
surprise kind of a thing.
Very good. Okay, we have 4 minutes left. Would anybody have any questions for Mr. Razak? And you please, if you do, please raise your hand, identify yourself, and keep your questions short. Yes, please. Just a minute.
Hello, sir. So myself, Manoj. So I have a manpower agency, which I do the payroll and recruitment process. Also, I do the gifting things for the companies, like corporate gifting things. And I want to understand what is the starting difficulty you have faced while you want to establish the market, and the revenue structure. How do you manage?
So initially, actually, we had major issue came up in the technology side and the skilled labor. So the area where you are working. See, because Kerala was not into the footwear at all. Only the some Hawaii chappal manufacturing unit spread across Kerala. All other were either Chennai, nearby was Chennai, Bangalore, Agra, then Bombay and Delhi. So these were the, and Jalandhar. So we had, for rubber there was no issue. We have sufficient laborers. Then for other product, we had to bring people from north states and teach our people, and even now it is not fulfilled. We are completely dependent on the migrant laborers. And for us, actually 100% of our laborers are on our rolls. There's no contract labor.
Okay.
So we have around, directly and indirectly, around 3,000 people for us and 3,000 people for the vendors. So around 6,000 people are working in this industry, but around 60-65% is from is our migrant laborers. This stitching is a expertise job, and rest of the work we are training our people, and I think we have the we also have around 600 MBAs and engineering graduates.
Okay.
So we put them on the job and we train them. And again, that was a major issue, and the raw material supply.
Yeah,
that was two major.
Is the raw material issue sorted now?
That is ordered. Actually, for us as a company, for VKC, it was sorted out in the beginning because we were like doing volume, and sometimes we were directly importing material from Taiwan. But we wanted also to develop a cluster in Calicut.
Sure.
So what we did is around 32 companies joined together, and with my brother as a MD. And, those companies were buying goods from Delhi. But if you send the advance, you don't get the same goods. You will get a duplicate product, or you will get a substandard quantity. So what we did is we used to take from Taiwan. So we used the same source. we imported the product. I mean, the company imported the product, and we started supplying with a very low margin.
Okay.
So that was much lower than the Delhi or the North Indian price or Bombay price, but we could develop the local market. So once the number of companies increased in Calicut, all the manufacturing suppliers started their stocking point.
Okay.
So it was
That solves
very
problem
easy
was
to, easy for all.
All right, okay.
So because there was, I think, when we started reprocessed PVC, we were the first one. And finally, when we moved out of that, there were around 120 companies. PU, we were the third company. And currently, there was, at one point of time, there was around 150 units. So now, after the COVID, GST, demonetization, there was a lot of setbacks happened, and now there are lively around 60 to 80 companies are there. But all the major raw materials, like they're from multinational products, are depots or godowns in Calicut.
Okay,
Thank you,
sorry.
sir. Thank you, sir.
I'm sorry, actually, I've got a screen here which says time's up. So I'm sorry, could you please ask Mr. Razak off stage? Huh? Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Razak.
So thank you once again for this opportunity.
That was really good.